All right, so only almost 3 months late, but I still wanted to do this just to look back. I'm gonna rank all the gaming laptops I reviewed in 2021, and part of this will be in preparation for my next video, just kind of a preview of what to expect out of gaming laptops in 2022 and whether or not you should upgrade. So we're gonna start. We'll go in chronological order based on when I reviewed them. So we'll start with the Acer Predator Helios 300. The 2020 was largely unchanged from the 2019, which is a good thing in regards to it still had a really high color accuracy screen. It was a bad thing within it still had a bad battery. Overall, a solid build quality, solid looking laptop. If I would have been rating it right after I reviewed it back, I think March last year, I probably would have given it an A tier. But now, in retrospect of every other laptop I've reviewed, it's probably going to be C tier. And that's just because it's just, compared to the competition and the other options you can get for the money relative to what I paid for it, I paid $1,300. It's just, yeah, it's not a great option here in America, price-wise. All right, the next laptop I reviewed, continuing down my Acer journey, is the Nitro 5. This had the Ryzen with the 5600H and the RTX 3060. The biggest negatives about it was the screen, and the battery life was pretty mediocre, especially for a AMD laptop. But I mean, I paid $1,050 for a 100-watt 3060. It's a machine capable of playing pretty much any game at 1080p on high still. And so it's really not it's a solid laptop overall, and I'm really torn between A and B on it, but we're just gonna go with B. I mean, I know in some markets it's had bad RAM configurations, but mine came with two 8GB sticks, as dual channels, the good timing, everything. So next, the next laptop I reviewed was the Legion 5 Pro. I got a really good deal on it from Walmart. It was $1,400. The full power RTX 3070, the 16x10 screen. Everybody knows everything great about it. I'll just name a couple of my personal quirks with it. Is that I don't know what it was, but the battery performance is just, and when you're gaming, is not great. Which really wouldn't bother me, because whatever I'm gaming on battery, I don't expect it to last an hour and be mediocre, but if you hook up USB-C power delivery, it doesn't change the behavior at all. It still uses the same profile as if you're on battery. So it'll charge it from 10% to full playing a video game, but it's still it does this weird frame limit thing that I could not turn off, where if you're gaming on battery or with the USB-C power delivery instead of the 20-pound charging brick, it caps it at 30 frames per second, and all the settings I went through, I couldn't turn that off. With that said, though, this is obviously one of the best laptops of the year. I made a poll, I'll put it up here, of user's choice, community choice of best laptop, and Legion 5 Pro was number one, and so we're going to put it at S tier, obviously. Next, I reviewed the Omen 16. This was the first laptop with the 6600M in it, and yeah, it was an overall solid laptop. The screen on my model was pretty mediocre, and I think the biggest drawback is the price I paid. You're gonna rank things, you have to consider price, and that's gonna be different everywhere, but the price I paid, I want to say I got 10% off and paid $13.50, but still, that's not great. That's only slightly less than I paid for the Legion 5 Pro. I'm sure it's been on sale, but I haven't really I haven't noticed it on sale at Best Buy or anything a lot. So we're going to put it at B tier. I guess there's an argument to be made for bumping it up to A tier, but I don't know. It wasn't a bad laptop, but in retrospect, nothing about it blows me away. Next, I want to say is the MSI Delta 15. So the biggest pros about it is it was a 4-pound laptop, extremely thin and light. Had a pretty decent screen if I remember correctly, had amazing battery life, and really solid performance, especially for a laptop of its size. And I paid $1,300 for it, I want to say. Maybe, no, $1,400 for it. As comparison to like a Razer Blade, it's going to be very similar overall, similar in like size and performance, is like $500 more. This had the 6700M. It wasn't the full power version, and in fact, I don't think they ever released a full power 6700M. Maybe we'll see this year, like the 6th gen Ryzen paired with a 6600M full power and like a Legion or something. That would be great. So we're going to put it at B tier. Now, the next laptop I reviewed is the Victus. I reviewed the Intel i5 dual channel 4GB RTX 3050 model. I paid like $800. And I mean, that's the least I've ever paid for a gaming laptop. And so it had the shortfalls you would expect, the bad screen. It did have an amazing battery life. But when I dug into it after my initial review, its fatal flaw was, for some reason, any RAM I put in it, because I tried upgrading the RAM and I noticed, why is it not running at 3200 megahertz? It was only running at 2666 megahertz, any RAM I put in, even in the factory RAM. So that's going to make this a D tier. And I don't know if that's every Intel version or just the i5, and I'm certain that the AMD models don't have this problem. And for all I know, by now they could have maybe patched that with some sort of firmware or BIOS update. But it's, as reviewed, we're going to have to put it at D tier. I mean, there's no reason not to spend $200 more to get the Nitro. I know you can always say like $200 more, $200 more, $100 more. It plateaus at a certain point, but I think going from this $800 to this $1,000 price point, you get like a mediocre, gonna play games on like low settings and not really great at anything laptop, compared to like a, yeah, you're not gonna be doing 4K gaming, but something with a base model 3060 laptop, you're gonna be able to play anything you want, and it's gonna be, should be pretty future proof. And finally is the Asus ROG Flow. This is the last laptop I reviewed, and I actually also didn't finish the review on it until this year. This is my other personal laptop. I use my Legion 5 kind of more like a portable desktop, and for like taking to work and using for actual like laptop purposes, I use the Flow, and I also use it in the tablet mode or in laptop mode on the couch to play like Magic the Gathering Arena or something while I'm watching TV. So yeah, I literally just released the video on this. Go back and watch that if you haven't. I guess in summary, I would say it really doesn't have many competitors if you're looking for a ultralight 2-in-1. If you're looking for like a dedicated gaming laptop, you have to buy the XG Mobile if you want to be able to like really get that ultra ray tracing performance level, even at 1080p. But that's like $1,500 more, and for $1,500 more, you can get like a Legion 5 Pro. And so why would you spend, you can have two devices instead of this and the XG Mobile. So yeah, a really good laptop. We're going to put it at A tier. Alright, that's my list. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you disagree with, how you would rank it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a good day.